Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Myre, and it looks like all of a sudden there is a brand new Star Citizen ship that just got announced. The page literally just came up, and we're just watching live here on Twitch and having a look at it. So it's the Anvil Legionnaire. Let's go ahead and check it out. So here it is, the Anvil Legionnaire. Board and take control. So I think some people said the other day that there was actually a bit of a leak about this thing in Invictus. So I feel as if this is coming in with the Invictus flight or launch week, as they call it, that happens on the 20th of May this year. So it says board and take control, hack in, lock on, and take over. So when the operation calls for the rapid recovery of an enemy-occupied vehicle or station, the Legionnaire is ready for duty. With 8 drop seats, versatile docking options, and an advanced security infiltration system, even the most difficult boardings are viable with the Legionnaire in your fleet. So I think the first thing that most people will be thinking is, why is this an Anvil ship? Like boarding and hacking and all that kind of stuff. You'd think that maybe perhaps it'd be an Aegis thing, because like Aegis used to be the Empire's kind of like premier just company for all things military. But I guess because this is more modern, we're gonna be going the way of Anvil instead, which have, I guess, within SC lore, for those who care, have been recently taking more and more of these contracts over. Also with hacking, it's a bit, I suppose, more different. It might be a bit of a niche that perhaps maybe Aegis isn't able to fulfill. But I mean, we have like the Aegis Vanguard and the Vanguard Sentinel, which already is a ship that has E-War and hacking potential. So that could be why they went for Anvil over something, let's say, like Aegis. In fact, no, exactly. We have the Aegis Vanguard, so why is this Anvil? I don't know. But we know why it's not Drake. You know, Drake is a bit too rudimentary. I mean, you wouldn't be having sophisticated boarding with Drake. You'd be crashing to the ship instead, wouldn't you? But there you go. All right. So, one second. I think I may have just lost my chat real quick, and I want to get that back. There we are. Okay. So yeah, boarding party, exactly. So, let's see. So hack in, lock on, and take over. So key features of the Legionnaire. So hack in. The Legionnaire's integrated infiltration systems empower operators to stealthily disable security measures on target vessels, leaving them vulnerable to docking, boarding, and seizure. I just can't get over how this is Anvil, but don't worry about it. I'll get over it soon enough. There's just some concept art of 2 people on this thing. So at the moment, it's looking like a 2-seater vehicle. You can see actually in this concept art here. We're going to open this to a new tab so you guys can see it a little bit better. But you can see on the bottom right there that this looks like a proof of concept of the hacking app that they described last year. So they wanted hacking to work in 2 different kind of ways. They wanted hacking to not only be something that would just be a thing you can do in the game, but they wanted to have 2 ways of accessing it. They wanted it to be a way that everybody could do, like a more logical kind of way, a more visual way. And they described something like along the lines of like 3D Pac-Man for that. And then of course they wanted you to be able to, if you wanted to spend the time getting used to it, if you wanted to spend the time learning whatever SC code there is, I'm thinking like, YOLOL from Starbase, but maybe perhaps it won't be as involved. But I mean, this is Star Citizen we're talking about here. Then you can use the left-hand side and literally, go down the command line route and type in, like the specific, queries and answers and stuff like that to get the hacking done instead. I believe CIG mentioned that when it comes down to this hacking route, the 3D Pac-Man way will be easier for everybody, to get in. It's going to have a lower skill floor, but like if you wanted the high skill ceiling and to be able to hack as efficiently as possible, then you'd want to get your head into learning how this coding thing was going to work. So essentially, like with Star Citizen, they kind of want all these different gameplay loops to be so involved that like when you sit down and you go into it, like there aren't going to be that many jack of all trades. I feel they're going to be people who like spend all their time learning the ins and outs of mining, or learning the ins and outs of refining, learning the ins and outs of things like salvaging and even hacking and that kind of thing as well. I believe cargo is supposed to be just as involved, and ship repairing as well. But it's cool to see our first concept look at this hacking feature. I didn't expect to see that so soon, but there we go. So anyway, that's just that for hack in. Let's move on to lock on. So the Legionnaire's 2-in-1 docking collar connects to all UEE standard apertures, allowing for the infiltration of vessels and facilities of all sizes. Alright, so as we know with Star Citizen, there are currently 2 different kinds of docking collar. The one that currently works for us, and the one I believe is the final size or form factor, is the large one that you can see on things like the 890 Jump and the Hammerhead. We don't yet have small size ship docking collars that actually work with stations. Stations don't have that yet, and we don't have ship-to-ship docking that has that feature just yet. But as and when this comes in, we'll have it. So maybe perhaps this will also be the first small size craft we'll be able to see docking to those orbital stations. I kind of hope not, just because, you know, otherwise you're going to have these Legionnaires using up spaces that people with, like, you know, their hammerheads and their jumps who need them to use right now in 318 or 317. It's going to cause issues traffic-wise, at the very least anyway. But that's cool. So, ready the team. So, 8 high-performance jump seats transport full boarding parties in a single run. So, it does seem like, from the concept we have right now, this is a more like, if you're using this ship to board somebody else's ship, it's you disable the ship and you use their docking collars, and you're coming in there from a very specific point of entry. It's not like the Vandal drill that we saw leaked in 2016 that seemed to be like, if you've played Halo, where the Covenant just basically blast open sides of ships, and then they have like these docking pods just like go into the hull, and then people come out of that hull breach. Now there's concept for that with the Vandal drill. Whether or not that's gonna be a thing, you know, with the way the game is right now is yet to be seen, but this does seem like a much easier way of CIG to do boarding actions and stuff in Star Citizen for sure, to begin with. Alright, so armed breach. So built-in storage means weapons and breach charges are always close at hand and ready when needed. So breach charges are a feature that we saw in 1 ISC, I believe either the beginning of this year or towards the end of last year in 2021. Essentially, when you want to go and break open somebody's door, right now in the verse you can just shoot the door, but they want to make it a more specialized thing where you actually have to put breach charges on the doors, which are like mini bombs that blow up the door. We also saw a long time ago, and it wasn't really spoken upon then, but it was like, you know, in a concept video of the Hull C, of like a laser cutter breaching a door. Whether or not that's gonna be a thing, we don't know just yet. But with this coming in, and Frogboy in chat does make a good point here, with this coming in, and with Ian Leyland saying last year that he wants ships and he wants you know, things like of this nature coming into Star Citizen, he doesn't want them to just come in and be there and do nothing. Like, he doesn't want any more trolleys. He doesn't want any more, you know, like reclaimers in Star Citizen that just kind of lie stagnant until their features come in. He wants things to be a bit more purpose driven. It does stand to reason that maybe perhaps we can expect hacking soon. We have seen it on the roadmap before, and it had been bumped along, and actually it had been deprioritized, and we no longer see it on the release view. But I'm curious to see where hacking is right now on the roadmap in general, because this is a hacking ship. It's not like a full E-War suite ship. I wouldn't expect to see much of that just yet. But I am very curious to see what the first iteration of hacking in Star Citizen is going to be, because it's supposed to be very involved. It's supposed to be like, you know, not just, you know, breaching a door, but also, you know, like disabling a ship or disabling a system or subsystem or spoofing. There's a whole design document. Maybe one day I'll go ahead and I'll read through it with you guys. But yeah. So, and stay safe, it says. So a trio of shield generators, much like the CNOU Nomad and military-derived armor, keep the Legionnaire protected from incoming fire. So it seems to be a ship that utilizes like actual shield generator power instead of armored hull to protect itself. It does seem like there's a triangle, I believe, of like priorities when it comes to these ships. Like, you either have a ship that is like got a lot of firepower, or it has like a lot of hull strength, or it has a lot of shield strength, and they kind of try and balance it so nothing is overpowered. And then we have Explore. We can actually have a look at the different things. It's multi-story. So in the back here, what's in the back? Clicking the back, but nothing's happening. Okay, there we go. So it's just a big thing. So size 2 remotely operated turrets in the back. Okay, so you can have like your bulldogs in the back there. What else do we got? Well, I mean, I'm clicking on this thing, but nothing's happening. I'm not sure exactly what we're supposed to be seeing here. It might just be a broken page for now. Oh no, it's working now. It's another turret. So we have another size 2 remotely operated turret back here. So these two are both remote, so no one's dying if the turrets get blown up. Heavy armor. Stay safe with military-derived armor. Okay. Shields. So I'm guessing, you know, Anvil Terrapin style like armor, at least from the same company, right? Shields. So 3 dedicated shield generators provide maximum coverage. High-performance jump seats securely transport a boarding party of up to 8. I do wonder what they mean by high performance. How does this differ from the jump seats on things like the Cutlass Steel or the Valkyrie or even the Pisces, right? Is there a difference? Lockers. So of course you need lockers for your people to put their stuff in. We've got a bridge up here with a hacking console to breach even the most complex security grids. And they do mention stations as well. We know the Pyro system is coming in soon whenever it does come in, and not every station in Pyro is going to be like the ones in the Crusader system, you know, owned by a company and, you know, rigidly patrolled. So maybe perhaps there might be a use case for being able to actually hack a station to be able to use its landing pads or whatever without being shot by turrets. And then of course we have the cockpit. Clearly command any operation. And then of course we have the 2-in-1 docking collar to be used for both large and small ships and stations. And we got ourselves a gallery of stuff, just some concept art of the ship here. It's landing in space, flying, all this stuff. Docking. Now, real quick, what ship is it docking with over here? Can we tell? I wish it would just stay put for a second. Yeah, what ship is that docking to right now? I can't really tell. Is that a reclaimer, or is that like a capital ship? Is that an Idris? It's a big ship regardless, though. Yeah, it might be an Idris. Hey, Pete in chat, welcome. That's an Idris, isn't it? From the shape of the docking collar, we know it's a large style ship. So it's bigger than any ship we currently have in game that's not an 890 jump or a hammerhead. So it must be an Idris. Alright, then we got ourselves here with our commander looking at his troops. I do like this image here of this door. I want to see if we can get this image bigger. Again, you know, it's all concept art, but like, you know, they do like to have snippets of actual gameplay and gameplay ideas in there. Nothing is in a vacuum, space puns unintended. It looks like this must be an ETA to get somewhere else. Because, you know, as somebody who's sitting here, like in the jump seats, it's all well and good going from A to B, but you're playing a video game here, you know? You don't want to be bored out of your mind doing nothing, you know? So I'm guessing that's like an ETA, either like, you know, how long to take until it gets to this, you know, that's an Idris, right, in this image here. So how long it takes to get there, or some other information about the world around them. We need more of this. Okay. And then, what else we got? Okay, coming through and boarding. I would say the one issue about the whole breaching situation with this ship is the fact that, like, with the Anvil Legionnaire, people are going to know exactly from which, like, docking collar you're coming through. You know? Without a shadow of a doubt, anybody on a big ship is going to know a Legionnaire is coming through. So I think that, like, if it's just one Legionnaire against one capital ship or whatever, if it manages to, like, hack through and dock or whatever, it's not really going to be doing all that much. But like in a large fleet situation, you know, like where there are multiple ships, and then all of a sudden you have a Legionnaire coming in as well, adding an extra amount of just nonsense to a fight, I think that'd be really cool, you know, because then you'll have your engineers panicking about, you know, fires, literally trying to put out fires and stuff. And of course, you'd have like a dogfight going on with bigger ships in the area, and all of a sudden you have these guys coming through as well, even if it's through a door that you'd expect them to be coming through. Yeah, it's kind of cool. But yeah, in the middle of chaos, exactly, Iambot, it could be amazing. But I think if you are like a pirate, for instance, like the only way this would be useful for you is if like you have a fleet that of players who will help you disable a ship or whatever, so that people are you know, worrying about other things as well as the breacher. But if you're like a solo pirate, or if you're a smaller venture, I do think that you might be wondering and hoping and waiting for the more free-form breaching that the Vandal Cleaver, if it ever comes into the game, will be giving us at some point. And then we have another shot of it here, receiving ballistic damage. Okay, so we have some tech specs for you as well, real quick. We've got a crew of 2. So we got the pilot and we got the hacker. So one guy flies around as the other guy tries to do the thing with the code. Obviously, I think the pilot could try hacking as well if they wanted to, but I mean, like, you might be a sitting duck if you try, right? You got 8 jump seats there. You got 2 size 2 turrets, or 2 size 2 turrets that both have size 2 guns on them, or 2 size 2 guns on them. Words. We got 3 size 1 shield generators, so it has the same amount of shielding as a CNOU Nomad does, but it has heavy armor, so it's got the same kind of armor as a Terrapin. So it's kind of like a mix of both heavy shielding and heavy armor, which means that like it's not really going to be that great for like just combat in general. It has a very specific use here of getting your 8 other players in a situation, but obviously, you know, like if you think about it from a player balance perspective, it's not like if you have a Gladius, which is a single-seater fighter, right? That's one player, right? So that one player is supposed to be, you know, like having one player's worth of impact on a scene, right? But with a ship like this, you potentially have 10 players, right? Imagine a ship like this, of this size, just blowing up, and all of a sudden 10 players are now useless. So it makes sense that a ship of this size has both heavy armor and also a lot of shielding for its size too. Alright, and okay, so the Chairman's Club Early Access is now live for this thing, and the general availability is going to be going live on May the 20th, which is tomorrow if you guys are watching this live on Twitch, or whenever I put this onto YouTube, which is soon, I hope. Alright, and that's that for Legionnaire. So tomorrow we'll see things like, you know, what colors it's going to be coming in, and the skins, and maybe perhaps even a brochure and that kind of thing. How much is it though? We'll find out right now. Well, I mean, I can't because I need to log on. The Anvil Legionnaire is being offered for the first time as a limited vehicle concept pledge to celebrate Invictus Launch Week. Non-war bond standalone ships and packages will include a 10-year insurance. So we're being told in chat that it's $100 war bond, which is fairly inexpensive for a potentially 10-man ship. It's a very niche role ship for sure. I mean, if you had like a Vanguard Sentinel also has a hacking suite. Whether or not this one is going to have a more robust hacking suite than the Sentinel, who the heck knows, but this also does have docking potential as well. Obviously it says here utility-wise it's got a docking override hacking device. We have no idea what device the Sentinel does. Of course, this is a newer spec sheet than the Sentinel. But yeah. Okay, so that's that for the Vanguard. Jeez, Myre. The Anvil Aerospace Legionnaire. Now, give me 1 second. I want to see if I can log on real quick to this and have a look for you guys to see if maybe perhaps we could find out if it's being sold with any perks and stuff for the Chairman's Club and that kind of thing, as these things tend to be. All right. Okay, so this is the perks of it being a YouTube video, is that I can edit this, but I'm not going to. But yeah, so far, what do you guys think in chat, by the way? Because this is a very interesting ship, just in terms of like gameplay. I don't think we've really seen anything like it from CIG just yet. I wasn't expecting it. I think we're talking about ships earlier, and we're talking about how I wasn't necessarily sure where CIG could go with making any more ships. To me, I kind of felt as if maybe at this point in time, CIG was just like now just filling in spaces, as it were, with their ships. Just trying to make sure that they have like a ship size for every kind of like genre of gameplay they want for Star Citizen. But of course, I missed docking altogether. But yeah. So Nikila in chat says it was a ship they needed to have. Yeah, I mean, now I think about it, for sure. Like a little docking ship. Obviously, there is ship-to-ship docking that we're going to be getting in general for all ships, but this will be the one that will be opening the door, regardless of whether or not you want to actually use this ship for docking. If you had like a bigger ship with more people, you could still use this ship as the one to hack it to allow another ship to dock. Alright, so we're now logged in. Let's have a look and see if with the secure yours button now, what's gonna happen. So it does come in a couple flavors here. Let's go ahead and show you guys what we got. So we have the Legionnaire Plus Shadow Strike paint, which is just black with gray because you gotta have that. And they also have another one here. They've got the Legionnaire ILW. Not sure what that stands for, but you have like that same matte black frontage with some green in the mid. And then of course you have the Shadow Strike as well on its own. I don't know what the ILW stands for. Oh, of course, Invictus Launch Week. Duh. Alright, there you go. So right now, as you can see, they all have the Chairman's Lion there. That means that, like, of course, for now, today, it's exclusive to people who have Chairman's Club access. Tomorrow, though, the ILW one will likely be available to everybody for £115 or your regional... man, I say that word all the time, but for some reason I forget the word. But there you go. So 120 bucks, there you go. All right, or your regional currency, yes, or your regional equivalent, I believe is what I said. Okay, so did they discuss the loaner? Is there a loaner for this? I don't know. Let's try and find out if there is a loaner for this. There should be like a loaner matrix page for all this. Let's go and find out real quick, huh? So, it might be too early. I'd be surprised if they've actually gone ahead and done it, but, you know, like CIG, surprise us sometimes. Let's see, Star Citizen Loaner Matrix. I hope you enjoy the sound of Cherry Browns, by the way. You're welcome. Let's see. There you go. Loaner Matrix. Let's find out. Okay, so... the Legionnaire, right? I don't think so. It's not in just yet. Oh, it was at the bottom of the sale page? That makes sense. Okay, let's scroll down. Ship X, disclaimer, the Anvil Legionnaire. Just Control F and type loan. Oh, there you go. Alright, thanks guys. So it says, if you pledge towards an Anvil Legionnaire, you'll also receive a loaner vehicle for use in SC, and until such time as the Anvil Legionnaire is included in game, this loaner vehicle will be currently playable, words. This loaner vehicle will be a currently playable vehicle of a similar approximate size and function of Legionnaire, and this is going to be the Aegis Vanguard Hoplite. Now the Hoplite is a people carrier, right? It's an 8-person transport vehicle, but it's not a hacking vehicle. I'm surprised they're giving us the Hoplite instead of the Sentinel, which is a hacking vehicle. This is kind of like a mix of the two with less firepower overall. But there you go. So that's that for the the Legionnaire. The Hoplite is a dropship though. That's true. That's true. All right. So anyway, guys, that's that for the Anvil Aerospace Legionnaire, which I believe we'll be seeing more of later on down the line. If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned. We're going to go ahead and check out that Sherman's letter. It's a doozy, but we're going to try and power through it. If you're watching on YouTube, we will be posting that soon after this goes live. And yeah. If that's too long for you guys, I might just make another video, which is going to be a summary of that, but I'm not too sure just yet. We'll see. Until then, though, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And be good.